Right, here we are. Nobody here yet. Alright, I'll wait for everybody. Let me start music in the meantime. I want to do this. There we go. Oh, seeing that there's nobody to talk to, I'll just have to try and look pretty.
Struggle for my family, we're hungry, beware of our appetite. Distant drums ringing news of a kill tonight. The kill which I share with my passengers.
Is today a holiday somewhere in the world?
Take our fill. I stand firm for our soil. Liquor I come forth, they juice me, seduce me, dress me up in stitsy. Confused by different memories, details of Asian remedies, conversations of what's become of enemies. My brain thinks bomb-like, so I listen. He's a calm kind. As I grow, and as I grow, I grow competitive. Before the move, sit on the perspective. Mr. Quail in the crevice and watches from the precipice. Imperial passage.
FIFA World Cup, that seems. Oh, hello Kasim, how are you? Wondering where everybody was. It is very quiet today. What's going on? So I was wondering if there's a holiday today or not. How are you doing? How's your week been? I'll just have to sit around and wait for some other people to pop on. But okay, thanks. My magical practice is dead though. I cannot seem to revive it. That happens. It really does. Don't despair. Happens to me all the time, actually. I think if it didn't, then there would be something wrong. Because, I mean, just normally we move through. We learn things, we practice things, we gain more knowledge, we keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and eventually you're going to have to find a point where you actually hit a plateau and, you know, nothing happens. And it's supposed to be that way so that you can actually review what has happened. Also, I'll just check. But you said it has been for a while, so it's not anything to do with Mercury and going retrograde and reviewing things and things like that. But I just also want to check when that's starting. It might be in the shadow period at the moment. Retrograde planets 2026. Let's have a look. Retrograde starts on the 29th. It's not showing the shadow period. Yeah, no, we're just entering it now, so it wouldn't be. I don't think it would have anything to do with that. But yeah, don't give up. Just keep reviewing what you've been through, what you've done, all the things that you've experienced, gained, knowledge you've gained, all of that stuff. Go back and go over it again, and eventually it'll pick up again. You know, and You don't need to force it or push it. You might find at some point you kind of do need to kind of like step up. You know, if you find it's just going on for too long, you know, then just get some discipline going. But yeah, take those plateau periods. Psycats, hello, hello. How you doing? Mega Master now, okay. I'm glad you joined. It is very quiet today. I think some people have started to hop on. We've got 4 people in the chat now, or in the, I don't know, in the live in the background. I don't know. Well, I don't know where they are. Alright, how's everybody's week been anyway? Oh, waiting for everybody else. I think more will arrive short while. I hope so. Yeah. Well, it'll be a very weird week. Mr. Azu, I think. Did I get that right? From St. Helens. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining. You are here for... I don't know if you've been here before and just not spoken, but if it's just your first time here, Covenstead, we just talk about whatever comes up. There's no specific topic. If you've got any questions, anything you have, or you want comments on different viewpoints, whatever, just drop them in the chat. You know, happens every time. It does, yeah, eventually. But, let's see what happens today. I do, just in case, this is completely absolute last call. If anybody wants to join the Introduction to Planetary Magic workshop, I've got that in, what, it'll be, what, 3 hours from now. So hop onto that. It's on my website. Go and grab that if you want to. I will be stopping bookings in just before, well, in about an hour and a half, let's say. Yeah, an hour and a half from now. I'll be stopping the bookings. Mr. Aizu, just recently stumbled across sigil magic. Is it useful? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, very useful. It's probably one of the simplest forms of working as well. Because, I mean, you can create a sigil in like 5 minutes. Create, charge, and activate within like 5 minutes, and just let it do its work. But I think the main thing, the most important thing with sigil magic is to understand how they work. You know, why we use trance to go into, well, why we choose to go into trance in order to push the sigil into the unconscious mind. You know, all that stuff. You know, it's a liminal space, it's a liminal practice, going into trance, and therefore that's why we use it. You know, if you go into Austin Osman's Spare, he used to talk about the nether or the neither, and it's kind of like that in between state. So where more than two things can be true at the same time. So you know, kind of put yourself into that state, and then you can transfer the sigil across the unconscious mind, and then you just let it do its thing. But yeah, extremely useful. A lot of people have some fantastic results. Kasim, what is your opinion about Hecate being the Bina and also Saturn? I don't have a fondness for placing the deities in the Sephiroth myself. To be honest with you, but yeah, Bina is kind of like the mother, so that makes sense. You also got to remember that you might, I don't know if you're thinking about this from the perspective of Bina um, and the relationship to Saturn. This is related to Saturn, right? Hang on, let me check my wall over there. Yeah, as being a masculine, whereas Hecate is feminine. Um, when you look at the tree of life, you got the two pillars, and then the middle. So you got the pillar of severity and the pillar of mercy, depending on which way you're looking at it. The pillar of severity is actually the feminine, and the pillar of mercy is actually the masculine. And we do tend to immediately assign it the other way around, because severity is kind of viewed as being more masculine and mercy as being more feminine. So yeah, Bina is the mother, the knowledge and the understanding. Let's just check. Yeah, it's the understanding. The art is knowledge. Bina is understanding. Chokhmah is wisdom. So you need understanding and wisdom to get. You need knowledge to get understanding, and then gain wisdom, etc., etc., etc. So yeah. Psychat, Mr. Johnson. If you are comfortable, can you discuss the love spirits that gave you great results in terms of your clients? If such revelation is not against your oath to secrecy. So it depends what kind of love are you talking about? What kind of love, what kind of results are you after? Because that is quite broad, and you need to get quite specific with it. You know, is it about calling in just generally calling in a love of your life, like your soulmate, all such things? Is it targeting a person who you want to make fall in love with you? Is it to excite love between you and an existing partner? That's just, the passion has just died a bit. There's a lot of different things here, and each spirit can aid in particular ways. Like Beleth, for instance, is very good for that kind of life partner, finding that life partner, and to the degree of marriage and all such things. Then you've got Sea Tree, which is fantastic for sexual stuff, for lust. Asmodeus as well is great for lust, but Asmodeus, I find, is more lust in a powerful sense rather than Sea Tree, which is more focused on sex itself. But if you want like a one night stand, Sea Tree. If it is, what else did I mention here? Rosia is fantastic for general love. Finding love in relationships, for marriage, for love itself. I think I always relate Rosia to the name, or the name itself, Rosia, to the plant rose. You kind of have that relationship or significance, correspondence with it when it comes to love. What else did I say? If you want to excite love, Sea Tree is quite good for that again. There's some others there that can get aim. Aim is quite good, quite a fiery energy to it. But if you are trying to compel somebody, then it would be the dead. And in that case, what you're generally doing is, as I've said before, placing a curse on the person that you're trying to compel to love you. And I think that's silly, but people do it. Yeah. But you basically employ the dead to haunt the person until they actually come to you. Haunt their dreams, haunt their life in general, so that they cannot eat, sleep, or think of anything else but you until they actually do come to you. Crazy, but that's magic. Michael, hi. You well? Thanks for joining. Oh, and Zanka's here. Hello, Zanka. What do you think? Demons are so much more responsive and willing, or why do I think and willing to work with us than angels are. Because demons are terrestrial, they are chthonic, they are more connected with our realm, they're closer to our realm, and they are more personal. They have their own communities and religions and everything else, the same as we do. Whereas angels are powerful, massive forces that have no interest in human life, really. Very little. I mean, apart from being messengers. But they're these huge big forces that control the cosmos. You know, the earthquake, the fire in the forest, the life that runs through the trees and the plants. And these are all forces of nature, forces of the cosmos, and that's what the angels are. So they've got no interest in one individual human. Why would they? So yeah, even with the demons, I mean, you have to kind of ask yourself, why am I worthy of their attention? You know? Both soulmate and targets. Not one night stands. Do the dead have any name? Any spirit that controls the dead for such PGM-like spells? So soulmate, I would definitely go with Beleth in that instance. For a specific target, as I said, the dead, and generally it's just the dead in general. You go to the graveyard. It's actually an actual graveyard working, and try and get as close to the PGM spell that you can. There's a lot in there. This is very difficult. I mean, it does use, as far as I remember, it does use a curse tablet, and poppets and everything else, but you literally do a graveyard working with them. So no specific dead, no. Any spirits that controls the dead, yeah. You know, the graveyard itself. Go and speak to the spirit that overlooks the graveyard. Go and speak to the dead at the graveyard. Just make sure, ask them if they are happy to do the work with you or for you, and you know, go from there. Put your phone on silent. Mr. Aizu, are the Finbar books of any use? Hold on, I'm gonna have to go refresh my memory. I do remember Finbar, but I can't remember what it was about. I'm gonna say no. Well, my brain's going no. Don't go there. Let me just double check. Highly sought after, rare vintage paperbacks. Focus on a cult. Blah, blah, blah. Hold on, I think I might be thinking of something else. Try to grasp on what the Finbar books are. William Van. Finbar collections. Doesn't really help me much. Hold on. Oh, is Finbar a publisher? Because as soon as I read that, my mind went straight to a particular set of books which had to do with fairy lore, which wasn't very good. But I think this is different. This is a bit abstract, actually. So I found Finbar books on Facebook. Their link is innerlightbooks.store. which is dead. Finbar International, big in the 80s, 90s. I don't know really. And it's weird because I kind of knew all the publishers of magic books. This looks like an early attempt at what Llewellyn tried to do. It's kind of like, I'm just looking at some titles. Express Telepathy, The Help I Received When I Most Needed It, How to Change Yourself in Your Life, Extraordinary Power of the Subconscious Mind, Finbar Magic Spells. Yeah. I can't really tell you actually, to be honest with you, because I don't recall reading any of these books. So I've got no idea. Just check what they've got on Etsy. Oh yeah, these are like blank title pages, or blank cover pages. That's quite interesting. But yeah, it's quite a price on it, 115 Australian dollars. Yeah, I don't know, can't tell you. Sorry. Tetra's here, hello Tetra. Right, let's go back to Psycat. Oh, sorry, you said they're more like leaflets, to be fair. They look at, yeah, but yeah, I don't know, haven't, can't recall reading them ever. Psycat, not trying any love spells, while aware can be dangerous, but yes, wealth is the foremost priority for the foreseeable future. This is a long time ago now. I'm trying to think if it was before Facebook or just when Facebook was, went public and stuff. That's how long back I'm talking about. So there was a chat, and I started advertising spell workings, and I wanted to know from everybody in a particular group which category they would go after the most. If they were to buy a spell, what would they go after? So I kind of listed a few, and then there was money and love. And I thought everybody would want money. We were in a depression at the time, so I thought everybody would go for money. Now, about 80% of people, even pushing towards the 90% mark, wanted love spells. I think it's weird because it's like, even when we are down and out, we want to feel a connection. We want to have somebody who we can go home to and find comfort in. Which was interesting. But yeah, anyway, that's my story for today. Alright, Michael. Hello, Michael. Wait, have I said? Yes, I have said hello to you already. Thanks, Elsa. Well, it's great. I work with Azazel and Nyx exclusively. What are your thoughts on doing a pact with each spirit, including both on the same pact? I wouldn't do the same pact for both spirits. They are different spirits, and they need different oaths, and you're going to approach them differently. What they want, the frequency of any offerings that you're going to give. All of that stuff, they have to be approached separately. But other than that, it's going to depend on the spirit. You're going to have to talk to the spirit, really. Find out what they want in exchange for what you want. And that's what a pact is. I mean, you give something to get something. Tetra. Hello, Tetra. Hi, chat. Hello. Mr. Izu, leaflets. If you are interested in leaflets like books, I would go onto Oh my goodness. It begins with an H. Hang on. What do we call pamphlets? They would call them. I go through my email, I find the bloody name, but now it's just I don't bloody remember things when I'm on here. Let's see. Oh, God, I remember. It will come to me. I will let you know. But they're fantastic. They're fantastic pamphlets, and they're like I think last time I checked, they were like £1.50 for the EPUB version. So and they were definitely well worth it. Yeah. I can't look because that's all gone onto that drive and it's not on my local drive anymore. Okay, I will find it. Tetra, you're watching the World Cup. I thought it was something to do with the World Cup, but everybody was so quiet. I don't do sports, so no, not me. I'm obviously here watching you. That sounds creepy. Sagat, yeah, same here in India. 11 less spells have a huge market. Yeah, that's strange actually. Don't know why. I've never done love. Never done a love spell for myself. I just don't get the purpose. I mean, if the person doesn't love you, why force them? They're not going to love you anyway. It's just an illusion. So it doesn't make any sense to me. Tetra cults isn't that popular in India. Really? I've known a variety of people in India, and it's actually black magic mostly. People practice there, it seems. James, hello James. Morning apologies. Wife needed me last week near the end. No problem. You had the correct Nick Farrell book, Magic Imagination. Okay, cool. Oddly, somebody did a review for that this week. Lord Manticore Training Channel. Next channel is that, not to take anyone. Okay. Oh, okay. It's alright. Yeah, Nick Farrell's very good. Let me get his book from it. Magic Law, Imagination. Where is it available for me? It is Tetra, from Hindu Tantra to Islamic Sulamani to folk magic. In metro cities, voodoo is quite popular. It's interesting that. I mean, like worlds apart, really. Tetra, I'm trying so hard to find a Western occult community here. We got one. Oh, in India, you mean? Sorry. Yeah. Here we are. Hello. Yeah, it's interesting because the people I've spoken to in India, it's quite rampant. It's quite big, Western occultism, it seems. Maybe it's just in the cities. I mean, that was Mumbai. Don't know. Kind of interesting. We use Psychiatric Western is less but growing. Okay. Found many Solomonic magic groups, etc. on Reddit. Oh, there you go. Try Reddit. 2 Tetra. Try Reddit see if we can find any groups that are kind of localized. Tetra, I'm from a region that is famous for black magic. In fact, it's a stereotype that people from here are all black magicians. I find that's kind of all over. I don't know, just seems to be all over India, which is really interesting all in itself. Okay, that's weird. Sheen is selling a book by Nick Farrell. Okay, that's weird. Why would Sheen be selling magic books? I've seen it all. Alright, let's move on. Where was I? The truth. Hello. I find it works to combine angels and goetic spirits. I didn't really get too heavily involved with my HGA. That's fine. Yeah, it's not something I enjoy doing myself, but a lot of people do. I mean, obviously, it seems to pop up or sprout from Dr. Rudd's goetic. Dr. Rudd's. It's just called Dr. Rudd's Goetia, I think. But yeah, the stuff where he brought in the angels, 7 angels to go along with the 72 goetic spirits. Not something I kind of do. Bobby Mordka, hello. Almost missed it. No, we're only halfway in, so still a lot to go. Hope you're doing well. Psychout Assam, I guess. I live close by Tripura. Okay. The truth, probably a scam. What are you referring to there? I feel like I missed a part of the conversation again. Here we go. Hopefully I'm keeping up. Psychout or West Bengal. Mr. Aizu. Last time I was on here, we were talking about Damon Brand's books and his validity. I finally sold them all. I don't blame you, to be honest. But a lot of people do find value in Damon Brand's books because it's so straightforward. The problem I find is it's a two-way street here. I mean, apart from the fact that I just don't like him, I don't like him as a human being, to be honest. Although nobody knows who he is, really. Just try and find a picture of Damon Brand, you won't find one. But the problem I find with the books is that they are too simplified, and they're kind of like he approaches it as do it and find out for yourself. Don't question me, and don't question why it works. Just do it. It will work. There you go. Done. So a lot of people come into everything starting out. They do it. They have results and whatnot, and then they don't really bother exploring it any further and understanding why, or going down different paths and exploring more about magic. They just kind of, that's it. They become a still stagnant, smelly puddle of water. But yeah, no, not really the approach I like. Tetra Surgery from WB. Oh, I'm assuming that's West Bengal then. Bobby Mordka, today we have guests at home. Falafels and sauce were prepared. Nice. I didn't know there was only one jug of sauce and I drank the whole thing. Leaving nothing for guests. Oh well. Goodness. Bet you're popular then. James, I got my Magical Imagination book second hand, actually off Amazon. I do apologise for the kerfuffle. He promotes it, but I am not seeing it new here in the US. Yeah. It's often a bit difficult, me trying to get some books. It's getting a bit better. You know, we've got Amazon in South Africa now. We recently got Prime to join Prime. You know. But it's still a bit sparse. Let's have a look if we can find it. Magical dimension. Usually, if I can't find a book, I'll go onto Amazon.com and get the Kindle. But even, oh my god, bloody hell, that's expensive. More choices for $6.40. Yeah, usually I'll just go and buy the Kindle. This isn't even available. It's only available in paperback now. Okay. So it looks like I can get it. It's probably, I don't know if it's second hand. Oh no, it's new. I don't understand why they have such a variety of, you know, huge big price differences. There's 4 available. I can get one for 640 Rand, South African Rand, up to 1,375 Rand, all new. And sold and dispatched by Amazon. So why the price difference? Makes no sense. But anyway, I'm gonna have to put that in my wish list. Maybe I'll add this to the book club on Patreon. Just have to make sure I can get a copy. Add to list. Okay. Right. Where am I? Oh, here we go. Psycat, yes, West Bengal. There we go. Luke's, hello. Lately, for a long time, I keep struggling to find a job no matter what I do. Even when hope shows up, it turns off a moment later. And when I compare to astrology, it had to be this way. Can't change. If you are getting a regular... if you're checking your astrology regularly, then what you can do is try and find avenues around the problem. Sometimes you just got to go straight through it. There's no option. You just got to battle on through until you get to the other side. But the astrology should be able to tell you that and give you some ideas of what you can do to improve your situation in the meantime. That might not necessarily be looking for a job. It might be finding other sources of money somewhere else. So yeah, it gets a bit difficult because when you look at your chart, you are kind of you see the pattern, and sometimes the pattern can't really change. It does change over time, but it's not like you can take like a pattern which is flowing through a month period and kind of like completely change it. I don't like that, I'm just going to go and do this over here. That doesn't really work. What does work is over a longer period of time, sort of steering the boat so that you can alter it slightly here and slightly there, so that you down the line, like a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, you've changed your outcome. But in a shorter period of time, what you can do is understand what you're going to be going through and then take countermeasures to help you through that situation. So that's really what it's about. Tetra, it'd be funny if we could just invoke demons and then just talk, try to learn things from them. I wouldn't say it's funny or fun. Well, it is fun, but yeah. But that's kind of sort of what we do. Or can do, let's put that. Psychic Mr. Johnson, which spirit, particularly Daemon, do you think the film stars or celebs petition for such massive wealth and fortune? If you had to guess, like politicians petition to Belial or Baal, I'm not. My guess is Asmodeus, especially in relation to film stars and celebrities in that kind of arena, because it does have to do with lust. You know, you find a lot of that is just related to lust and the pursuit of power, and that really isn't Asmodeus's forte. So my guess would be Asmodeus. By the Mordka, Amazon books are terrible. POD instead of the original edition. You never know what you're going to get, and on top of that, the packaging is terrible. Without any protection, the books arrive damaged. Goodness. Okay. Well, I haven't experienced anything like that in my country. It must be a country thing. Sorry to hear that, though. Yeah. I'm not an absolute fan of Amazon, but I mean, if you look at any of the big companies now, they're all corrupt, so not much we can do about it. The truth. I value results, but I value my internal growth as well, which is why I try to get closer to the spirits I work with. Definitely, I'm not the same person today that I was three or so years ago when I started. Oh, absolutely, yeah. And I do think it's very important to build those relationships. So you've got somebody there that you can help along the way, help you along the way. So it's important. Hadian Press. Who needed to know about the pamphlets? Yeah, I told you it would come to me. My lower self eventually kicks in and goes, "Oh, here's the answer." Who was it that was asking about or mentioning the pamphlets? Leaflets. It was Mr. Izu. There we go. So, Mr. Izu, if you are still here, have a look at Hadian Press. They have some fantastic works there. And as I say, they've got pamphlets, which are about 30-40 pages long, that focus on a specific topic. And I love that. I think that's great. You know, it's not all these. You get a lot of 101 books and, like, you know, trying to shove a load of information about a topic into 300 pages, and most of it just becomes ramble. But these are focused on a particular thing, and they're brilliant. Where am I now? I've lost the place. Hold on. Castle's here. Hello, Castle. Luke's. I see. Thank you. I asked Nick Sanua for help, and I'm wondering if I should work with demons in this case or stick to deities I'm close with. If you've already got a relationship, stick with them. There's no reason to add more, you know. I kind of like to keep my circle very, very small, because otherwise it just becomes a bit of a mishmash and a bit confusing. And you find that if you've got one spirit that kind of handles something in a particular area, they can do more than that. It's not like they're useless, you know, like a money spirit is completely useless at love. No, they can do like everything really. That's why a lot of people only stick to one spirit for their entire life, because you don't need like hundreds and hundreds of spirits, but other people prefer that. So it's up to you, but you don't have to add the demons. You can work with the spirits, the deities you're already close with and already work with. Absolutely. The truth is, you won't get any clear answer. There are countless occult systems and religions to choose from, so it's like picking a needle in a haystack. What was that in reference to now? Was that about the film stars and celebrities? But yeah, I agree with that. Both were okay yesterday. Before going to sleep, I cast a simple spell to meet gain a familiar. That night's dream was incredible, but only dream, or maybe not. What do you mean only dream? This is a dream. Gotta stop separating that from that and keeping them separate. They are the same thing. They overlap. All of it's the same. We are magical people living magical lives. So if you have a dream, it's a reality, you know? Especially a dream like that, where something you ask for something that came to you, you got the results, you know? Stop separating. Mr. Aizu, is getting results from demons bittersweet or have strings attached? And I will have a look, thanks. I don't think there are strings attached. Usually, as I say, this is usually an exchange, an energy exchange, as we experience throughout everything in our lives. I mean, if you have a day job, or a night job, doesn't matter. If you've got a job, you go to work, you do a particular thing for a particular company, you get reimbursed, you get money, a salary, which is this energy exchange. You gave something, you get something in return. And it's the same thing with all of these, any relationship we have in life, there's always an exchange of energies. So this is what we're doing with spirits, demons, angels, gods, goddesses, whatever spirits they are. We are doing something and getting something in return. Pushing out and pulling back. If you are working with spirits on a devotional basis, you aren't necessarily asking for anything, but what happens, because everything has to come back into balance, is that you give devotion to a god or a goddess, and you will get something in return, because as you give, you also get. So there's always these exchanges. So there's no strings attached, as far as I'm concerned anyway. You agree on what you're going to do in exchange for what you want, Psycat, how do different spirits, Boon, Amaimon, Asmodeus, Kornek, behave different in terms of wealth magic? I mean, they all are wealth spirits. Where do they differ? Their way of doing things. So, they're all, I mean, it's the same as love spirits. What aspect of love are we talking about? Here we've got, what aspect of wealth are we talking about? Is it gaining emergency money? Klornek. Is it more of an ongoing flow of money? Boon. Mammon is about improving business, taking what you have, making an empire out of it. Asmodeus is about power, which is very different to all of the others. So they all have their different areas, and when you're talking about money magic itself, there's all different aspects to money magic. Do you have a business? Are you employed? Are you looking for a promotion, which you wouldn't be doing if you have a business? If you have a business, you wouldn't be doing things the same way as being employed. On a business front, you need ideas and inspiration. You need to then create products or services. You then need to find an audience, build an audience. You need to find a way to market, to create a sales funnel. So there's all these aspects within money magic, which each one you can take one and they can do all of it, but they seem to kind of focus on particular areas. Very similar to kind of creating servitors for each one of these different aspects, So you have a team of spirits that you work with that kind of handle the whole process. So yeah, they've got all their different attitudes, their different moods. One's bigger than the other one, and one's more about continuity, taking what you have and keeping it going. Another one's about starting. Another one's about taking it and making it like massive. So yeah, all different. Ivan Mordecai dreamed about some kind of mass in front of the church in my village. I was pretending to be Catholic in order to get a communion wafer. It was supposed to be used in a ritual of feeding the devil. Cool. I like that. Then at the bus stop that was closed and floating in the air. Nice. I hid the communion wafer and jumped outside. I was able to levitate. That's a fantastic dream. But didn't you say that you got what? You gained a familiar? Oh, you asked to gain a familiar and you had this dream. Okay, yeah. That's quite interesting. And feeding the devil, there you go. My guess is that the devil gave you a familiar. Now you just got to carry on and progress and find out the name of your familiar. Because you had a definite interaction with something there. And if it was feeding the devil, it was probably the devil. Alright, so the truth said, this is like psychat, different temperaments, so you will get different attitudes and approaches to solving the same problem. Yeah, absolutely. Luke, I'm curious, for example, if it's someone's last life before he's supposed to ascend further, in your opinion, how soul can change direction? Like, it won't be your last life if you did something bad, let's say. It's kind of a very big question, and very dependent on personal worldviews as well. If it's someone's last... I'm not entirely sure what you mean by last life either. Before he's supposed to ascend further. Yeah, this is going to entirely depend on worldview, and I don't think most of this is going to fit into my worldview. It seems what you're aiming at is that we progress through lifetimes, and then we get to a point where we ascend to some other plane of existence. I don't know where that would be. So... yeah, I can't really have an opinion on that myself. But at the same time, if they did something bad before they died, which then changed the direction that they were going on, that becomes an or a discussion about fate. Which means that this was not their last life and they were not supposed to ascend. You know, I'm a big believer in fate myself. You might not be. So it's a very difficult question, that. Castle, I'd say working with spirits, just don't get trapped in the instant gratification trap. I've seen people get themselves in when working with the spirits. Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah. But it can be, I mean, especially when you start working magic, any kind of magic, whether it's spirits or not, you get the results and you do get that instant gratification, and it's exciting, and you all of a sudden you feel really powerful, and then you try it again and nothing happens, and oh, okay. Luke said, I know it's a big topic still, thanks for the attempt. It's a pleasure. Sorry about that. Yeah. I've been walking the night before. I dreamed that I was walking through a nature reserve, the one I have nearby, and drawing a witch's compass on the ground, 4 forks arranged in the shape of a cross. Cool. Still looking for this Nick Farrell book here. Oh no, I did find it on Amazon. Thank you, Truth, for your valuable insights. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. It's a pleasure. White screens. Castle, how is Lee doing? And what's your plans for the magic school you're running? I'm doing well, thank you. A bit of a I don't know, strange couple of weeks actually. I think I've got probably just motivation. Just can't. I've got no get up and go. It's just what you got up and went and never came back again. But it'll come back eventually. But so yeah, what's the plans for the magic school? So, well, it's kind of everywhere, isn't it? I've got my courses. I've got all the stuff on Patreon. And I'm now doing the masterclasses, which I'm going to start in September. But that's actually taking the first degree training material from the Temple of the Horn Serpent, which is on Patreon, and doing it over, different formats. Doing it as like a more of a workshop, Zoom workshop kind of format with a group of people. So I'm hoping that loads and loads of people, and especially on my channel, where they ask about where do I start, how do I do magic, how do I contact spirits, I want to contact Spoon, how do I do it? And that's one of the biggest questions. Is like, I want to contact place spirit name, how do I do it? Well, the same way you would contact any other spirit. If you don't know the answer to that, you start with the foundations, because obviously a big skip happened. And people want to be good at magic and everything else, so I have a foundation course, but I don't know, is it too much work for people to do? To ask people to sit down and meditate once a day and do a magical practice once a day and read books and get knowledge. I think a lot of people it's just too much work for them. In which case they shouldn't be doing it in the first place, because they're just going to get themselves into trouble. It's where we find spiritual psychosis popping up and all that stuff. So I don't know. But it's there, and it will be there. I will continue to have my training and teaching, and that's where my forte is. Michael, have you seen anyone try to break a demonic pact? If so, what were the consequences? I have, yes. Not very good. Yeah, if you have not accomplished what you promised, there's huge repercussions. And this is where our modern society fails us, because we have this idea that if we make a promise, it doesn't really matter. We can go back on the promise later. All will be forgiven. I'll just go, oh, I'm so sorry. That's not how life works. If you make a pact with a spirit, any spirit, not demonic, any spirit, God, goddess, whatever it is, if you make a pact is an oath. It is a promise. It is something you put in writing. It's a contract. And if you promise to provide something in exchange for something that you get, and you do not meet your end of the bargain, you have not completed the contract, and you will be held to that contract until you complete it, unless you can go and negotiate it, which is very difficult. So, and this is why I tell people, don't make pacts. Just build a relationship. It makes life so much easier. People insist on going to make pacts. Which is why I provide the service, because I had people coming to me saying, can I make a pact for them between themselves and the spirit? And I'm like, not how it should be working. Rather go and contact the spirit yourself, find out how to do it, learn the basics, etc, etc, etc. But people don't want to listen to that because it's too much work. So they go off and they find somebody who will make a pact for them and charge them thousands of dollars, and all they get is a piece of paper saying, say these words and it will, your life will be so much better. And that's why I started doing pacts, to do it properly for people, without calling on astral parasites. Anyway, getting off topic. So yeah, no, don't break a pact. And if you think that you can break a pact before making it, don't make the pact. Just don't. It's just one of those things. I just wish people would listen to me more. I really do. Because then I have to clean up everybody's shit, but you know, that's life. Psycat, these thank yous are the precursor to a really stupid loony question. I love stupid loony questions, don't worry. Loading. Okay, right, I'll wait for that. That's all interesting. Luke's, in my journey, I would say 95% I'm connecting and working with female beings. I feel something great around them. One of my patrons is Anubis. Isn't it wrong to not connect with him more often? No, I wouldn't say it's wrong. Again, this comes back to your, I can't really say worldview, but your personal practice, how you see this. A lot of people kind of put a lot of emphasis on these matron and patron aspects, and they have to constantly be working with them. I don't. They seem to stay in the background and push and guide, but I don't actually directly work with them. I work with other spirits and other energies and elements and elementals and all these other things, but they're guiding, you know. But yeah, so I wouldn't say it's wrong to not connect with Anubis more often just because you're working with other spirits. They don't have egos like humans do, you know, so I don't think you're offending them. Having Mordecai, I'm wondering which familiar contacted me and when I will determine its identity so we can start working together. It might come in a few months' time. I had a similar situation where I was given the name of, I don't know what it was at the time. I was just given a name of a spirit. And it so happened that 3 or 4 months later, if you've been on my Patreon, you would have seen the Black Book of Obermero. And I was reading one of Roger J. Horn's book. Reading his book about the devil, and something like that. There's one sentence I read in the book, and it just triggered this whole thing where I ended up making this whole thing with the Black Book about Obermero, which is about contacting the devil, making a pact, getting its name, or getting the devil's name. The devil gives you a specific name that you two work together with, you know, name and symbols. And that happened to be the name. So it came like 3 or 4 months before I actually started doing the work. I didn't know what it was at the time. So you might find in a few months' time you'll get given the name. You know, it's just how these things work. I'm just going to skip down because Bobby Walker said T. Horn Black Book. Okay, so I was reading Roger J. Horn's book. I'll get the title now for you. That triggered a whole series of creations that I then created the Black Book of Obermero, which is on my Patreon. It's a method of working, a method of getting in contact with the devil. Roger J. Horn. Books. So the book's title is The Witch's Devil, Roger J. Horn. Great book. I like Roger J. Horn's books. I think they're fantastic. Oh, you brought one out last year. I did not know about the Gathering of Witches. I need to get that one now. Okay. Right, moving on. Where am I? You also said, anyway, that what books and authors were mentioned today? I didn't understand. I would buy something about practical, down-to-earth magic, practical and specific. without tons of philosophy and theory. You'll probably like Roger J. Horn's book then. He is very straight to the point. It's almost like sitting around a bale fire with an elder, and they're kind of like telling you about the craft. And it's Roger J. Horn is folk witchcraft. Um, he's just fantastic. Very straight to the point. There's not a lot of reading to do, but he gets to the nitty gritty. So I would definitely recommend Roger J. Horn's book. I've read Folk Witchcraft, excellent. A Broom at Midnight, fantastic. It's 13 different ways of actually getting into trance to do the sabbatic journey kind of thing to meet the devil. And then The Witch's Devil I've read. There's a few others which I haven't gotten to yet. So, but yeah, I'd definitely recommend that. Castle said meditated on that by Vimorka with your familiars. James, I was fortunate enough to have an older hardback version. The Secret of the Golden Flower drop in my lap, the version that Cole Young commented on. Nice. I'm not really into the whole Cole Young thing, but I do understand the attraction. You know, I've got a friend who that's her life basically. is young Jungian psychology and how that fits into like the hero's journey, and all that stuff. Yeah. And into witchcraft. By the way, does Slewfoot contain interesting descriptions of rituals and exercises that can be used in one's own practice? I don't think it's something you can use in your own practice, but it is inspirational. I mean, it's a fiction book, it's not non-fiction. But I tell you though, this is the best fiction I have ever read. My absolute favourite used to be Weaveworld by Clive Barker. This just trumps. Yeah, there's a part where this is the first part I kind of marked, where Abatho has gained a friendship with Slewfoot, with the devil, really, and then she needs to kind of bring life back to the field, to the cornfield. It says he leapt up, tugging, all but dragging her along, his grip hurting her wrist as he led her out of the woods and into the field, into the morning light. What is it what you most need? He asked. What? I do not. The corn. You need the corn, yes? Aye. You have made your offering to me. Now ask me for the corn. And what is going on, she thought. What bargain have I struck? He entered a row of dried up corn stalks, knelt, then shoved a hand into the sandy dirt at the base of the shriveled stalk. He pressed his palm atop hers, pinning it there. Now, do it, before the moment is past, he shouted. Now! Give me corn! Is it not enough? You must mean it. He pressed harder, hurting her hand. Give me corn, she cried. It must come from your heart. Corn, she cried. Give me corn, damn you. Give me corn. There, he cried. You feel that? And she did, a pulse coming from the ground, flowing into her hand, their hands up her arm into her chest. She felt her heartbeat. It felt in rhythm with hers. Then with the pulse, all joined together, all beating as one. It goes on and on and on. It's really inspirational. And it's just brilliant writing, I'll say. Anyway, got a bit carried away there, didn't I? Right, where was I? Castle. I don't drink alcohol because my devotion to Santa Muerte, it's not a pact. Okay. Was a promise I made with her. Still bring her alcohol for rites and rituals. I know you're feeling about cleaning someone else's face. Okay, alright. Well, you don't need to drink alcohol, and a promise is a pact. So, you know. Where am I? Alexis. Hello, hello. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. The Romans knew that all the riches like gold and diamonds come from the underworld. Well, yeah, they come from the earth, don't they? So it's where the gnomes are. Yeah. Castle Hades is wonderful to work with. Alexis. Bally Mordecai says, I know. Great cover art. There's just great art through the whole book. Hold on, let me show you some of the characters. I don't know if you'll see it properly. So, these are some of the characters in the book. I mean, Brom is an artist, not just fiction writing. Good. There. And then the witch. This is no, actually, I'm not going to show you that one because that gives away the end of the book. Go get it. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. So cats. Personally checked birth charts of some celebs. Publicity available and verified, where the person doesn't have any combos to be a celeb. However, they became a celeb overnight, Asmodeus or any other. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's so many spirits out there. It could be an assortment of so many of them. But my guess, I mean, if I were in that situation, in that position, that would be who I would go to. But it doesn't mean that everybody goes to Asmodeus. But could be any of them. Castle, the blood god is strong. Corn, okay. Alexis, we think of light as good and dark as bad, but sitting under the sun for hours will make you sick. However, you can sit forever under the moonlight. Yeah, there is that. I don't really think of light as good and dark as bad myself. It is something that we've kind of been trained to think in our Western society. It's because of Christian world or the overculture. Well, that brings us to the end of that bit of chat. We've got quite a few people on today. It started off very quiet. I didn't think we'd get anybody on. Ooh, there we go. Overmorca, have you tried working with the practices described in the Gnome Manuscript Part 2, Magical Workings with Nature Spirit by Wilma Toll? I haven't, no. Hang on. I think that was one of the books that I just can't get. Double check. Yeah, the problem with living in South Africa is most of the time anyway, is that what the hell's all this crap? Hold on. You know, I could order from overseas, but postage is just absolutely insane. pulling up all different books. This is one from Troy Books. Yeah, I don't think I'll have much luck getting those books. Yeah. Castle, you will get an unbalanced under a full moon, Alexis, from some reading I've done. Because of the blood in your body being water will cause psychos. Huh? Oops, hang on. Go away. There we go. Oh, from sitting under the moonlight for a long period of time. Yeah, I don't know. Possible. I don't know. There you go. Counter question. What about standing forever on a moonless night? Bowen Vodka said, I'll receive it in 2 weeks and I'm curious to see what will happen. Oh, is that the no manuscript? Looks interesting. I just can't read it. Psycat, thank you. Super. Sod off, really. But I've been more. I don't know. I don't know either. I think it's getting close to the point where I'll lose the plot in our chat. I was going to play jazz today. I don't know if everybody likes jazz. All classical jazz. I'd say not, but I wouldn't do anything magic in the first 3 days of the new moon because we'll come back onto you. You wouldn't do magic on the first 3 days of the new moon. I kind of understand the dark moon, but that's not the new moon. But why not within the first 3 days? What? I'm very curious to know what tradition that is, because the majority of people do magic on the new moon, because it's the beginning of the new phase. Buying Now, The Witch's Devil. Yeah, brilliant book. You'll really enjoy it. And if you do enjoy that one, I would then go and buy, what was it? Room at Midnight. Just make sure I get these titles right, because you know me. Okay. A Room at Midnight, yeah, this one. So that was the first one I read actually. It's brilliant. Castle, most Julie Alexandrian Wiccans says that, but the dark side of the new moon, those first 3 days before and after the moon. Should we explain a bit? No, it's fine. I haven't heard that particularly. I mean, there is a lot of confusion when it comes to the new moon. You know, especially if you look at like an app or something that says new moon. It's actually not the new moon. It's usually the dark moon. Um, you know, the new moon is when you see the first sliver of light in the sky. And but I haven't heard about um, people not doing magic on those first 3 days. Oh, excuse me. God, I've got to stop yawning. I'm going to do a workshop after this. Right, it's gone quiet now. So everybody had their fill of questions and stuff. Ow, that was sore. Bobby Walker, if in the first 3 days of the new moon magic returns to me, can I cast a spell on myself? I want to be beautiful and healthy. Interesting look at it, yeah. Castle said, done it once and got bit because of it. Then I wait that amount of time and the spells went without a problem. No problem, no problem. Yeah, it's an interesting question for Bobby Mordka. If it's gonna come back on you, how about doing magics that you want to return back on you, will come back on you? I assume you mean in a negative manner. Yeah.
We suffer every day. What is it for? These crowns of illusion are fooling us all. And now I am
Yes.
weary and I feel
Was that an answer to Bobby Mordka? This is getting curiouser and curiouser. That one. Michael, you once mentioned that a demon wanted your left shoe as an offering. Yeah, that was Clawneck. Do you think the significance of the left shoe was? I have no idea whatsoever. Never told me. Just wanted it. So I gave it. Yeah. Yes, sir. Oh, okay. So, alright. So, right. Back to Bobby Mordka. Give it a try. See what happens. Why not? Okay. There we go. Answering Bobby Mordka. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going back to Michael. I mean, of all the requests I've had from spirits, that was the strangest one.
Now that we've chosen to take all we can.
Alright, let's see. It's just gone quiet, so let me let you know what's going on with everything. Not much of a change, really. It's the Introduction to Planetary Magic workshop today, so that will go back on sale or back up for bookings tomorrow for the next cycle, because I'm cycling them through every 4 months. But the next one, therefore, is the Art of the Spirit Vessel, which is creating a spirit box, and I use God, my brain has seriously gone. The Intelligence of the Sun, Nakiel, to make that particular spirit box as a group. And then you can obviously take that knowledge and apply it to other spirits, whatever spirit you want to work with. So that's actually quite a fun workshop. I like that one. So questions can be many, but Mr. Mega Master needs rest with the workshop as well. That's fine. Absolutely fine. Bowie Walker, tomorrow there's an eclipse, and I'm planning to bring some wormwood soaked in alcohol, a bit of an anise, and some camphor to a cave in the nature reserve. Do you think that's a good offering and a good time to do it? I avoid eclipses. What eclipse is it though? Hold on. Okay. Yeah, I don't understand why people do magic on. There's some eclipses you can do magic on, but I generally stay away from them because I'm not an astrologer. And if there's no, if the light gets removed, gets taken away and eaten, you don't really want to do magic during that time. Let me just check. Stu, there's no eclipses. What eclipse are you talking about? What are you about? It was March. The next one is August. You're gonna have to let me know what eclipse you're talking about, because there isn't one tomorrow, as far as I can see. But I'm gonna move on. Michael, when you invoke a spirit, do you actually see them, or is it more you see them in your mind, or feel their energy and presence? This is a great chat, by the way. Thanks. Pleasure. So I usually it's we're in Poland, but there's no eclipses anywhere in the world. Where are you seeing an eclipse? This is what I'm confused about. So when I work with spirits, sometimes I feel their energy. Sometimes I see them in my mind's eye. If I go to their realm, it's kind of a different experience altogether. I'm standing in front of them, but I'm not here anyway. I'm there, so it's very, very different. It's inner. It's like working in an inner space. But if what you're really asking is, do they physically manifest into physical appearance? No, that is extremely rare. And you do get a lot of people that say, oh, every time they talk to a spirit, it manifests physically in their space. That's bullshit. They're talking rubbish. They're seeing things, and they need to go to a doctor. But yeah, no, that doesn't happen often. That's theophany. A new moon, not an eclipse. Sorry. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay, so let's start that again, shall we? Tomorrow's a new moon. Both are back. Yeah. Well, this is why I say, if you're doing something like a deep non with Hecate, that's a different story. You do then work on the last day of the moon cycle, which is therefore the dark moon. It's not the new moon. The new moon is when you see the first sliver of light in the sky. But the problem is that all of the apps and stuff, they kind of assign the dark moon, which is the day before, as the new moon. So it gets a bit confusing. But yeah, if you're doing something like offering to Hecate, you go to the crossroads, you drop it, you turn around, you don't look back. Because you're also offering to the dead. And not the ancestors, the dead. And sometimes, if you do look back over your shoulder, you can pick up a stray and take it home, which you probably don't want to do. So there is that aspect. But if you want to do actual new moon, then that would be Tuesday, not Monday. You're doing a dark moon working. So you said you go into a cave in the nature reserve. Do you think that's a good offering? What? That depends on the spirit. Who are you making the offering to? You know? If you go into a cave, that would be a pretty good offering for Pan. Nature spirit. Oh, the local nature spirits. Yeah. Camphor's quite cool. Camphor's cleansing, it's purifying. Anise is cool. Wormwood's nice. Yeah, that's a good offering. But at the same time, you should be asking the spirits, not me. You know, because you're not making the offering to me. You're making it to the spirits. So, best thing to actually do is find out from them what they like, what they want. And it might not have it. They might like. You might give this offering you're going to do, and they'll like turn their nose up at it because it's not really something they want. So best thing would be to ask them. Alexis, are you permitted to wear that shoe you dedicated to Clawneck from? That was years and years ago. I don't know where that shoe actually ended up, to be honest. It was an old pair of what we call them tackies here. In England we call them trainers. What do you call them in the US? It's the shoes, the casual shoes, and you know, not even for sports. Just the casual pump type shoe, I suppose you could call it. And they were an old pair. They've been worn, practically worn through, really. I just wanted the left one. I don't know. Don't know why. And I don't know where it's gone. That was years ago. That was when I was getting divorced. So that was 2016. So that was about 10 years ago now. Every more card. I'd rather ask you because if you tell me my choice is wrong, nothing will happen. Don't do that. You might upset the spirits with something in my feet. Yeah, but if I tell you it's right and it's not right, you're going to lose your teeth anyway because you took my advice and it was wrong. Yeah, no, really though, I would definitely go and ask the spirits what they like. The safest option if you're going to make offerings to nature spirits that you haven't actually interacted with before, the safest option is something like honey and milk. I usually just do that, and I usually take a stick of incense as well and kind of put it in the ground and let that burn. It smells nice. But yeah, honey and milk, or tobacco is quite a big one in a lot of areas. Corn flour. Yeah, some of those basic kind of offerings. And then once you've actually got a relationship going, then ask them if they want anything else. Ask them if they like wormwood soaked in alcohol and all that stuff. You know. You said no. Then I'll tell them that Lee told me to do it. We'll have to get a plane ticket to get here. Stormy, hello Stormy, how you doing? I'm glad you could join. Babby Morka's being lazy. He's passing on the responsibility to me when he shouldn't be. Sorry, Babby Morka, I keep saying he, and I've never actually asked what gender you are. I really am sorry, I'm very bad at that. Thank you for all the hearts. It's not me, by the way, I'm not doing it. Trying to see if there's anything interesting in the magical communities.
This must be underwater love. The way I feel it seeping all over me. This must be underwater love. The way I feel it. O que que é esse amor da água? Deve sentir
Somebody said, isn't a straight pride parade just traffic? I like that, that's good.
underwater love. It is so deep.
Stormy, how can I get my evil neighbours to move? It can be a bit difficult, especially if they, well, I suppose if they own the house they can sell it, but if they're renting they might have a contract for a certain period of time. They can't move, can't break. But do some foot magic. Have a look into folk magic. If you're I think you're in the US, in which case you'll find a lot of it, Appalachian, etc., etc., where they do foot magic. So you kind of lay something across your neighbour's doorstep, powder or herbs or something like that, and as they cross it, they take on the effects of it. And you can do something which is get out of here kind of spell working. There was actually, I'm reading Backwards Witchcraft at the moment, which is Appalachian. There was an interesting one in there where you make a poppet. So you just make a poppet of your neighbour, and then you go to the crossroads, the nearest crossroads, and you bury it in the crossroads with the head facing away. So like heading out of town kind of thing. So you might want to try that. Might be a good option. You said cameras everywhere. Yeah, so maybe do that. Just make a pop-up of your neighbour. It's better to get a lock or a tie or something that you can add to the pop-up that is personal to them. I don't know, it depends if you can get access to something that belongs to them, or try and get a bit of dirt from their land. Just do it sneakily. If there's cameras, just kind of have your back to the camera, go down to tie your laces and just dig up a bit of dirt or something, or grab something of theirs, something that they've touched. If you can go through their garbage, do that. Grab something that they've actually touched or licked or something like that. It's going to have their DNA on it. Try and do that, and then add that to the pop-up, and then do it where you take it to the crossroads, bury it, and so the head's facing away from your home. Yeah, give that a try. You have to be sneaky when you're a witch. You have to be very, very sneaky. Do all sorts of weird shit. Babby Walker, don't worry, I don't know English well enough, and I'm not sure what you were trying to say, so I'm not offended. Okay, alright. I was just asking about your gender. I keep saying he. calling you a he, but I don't know if you actually are, because your icon there, your profile pic is a little cat. It's funny because I kind of get impressions of what people are, but could be wrong. I don't want to be wrong. It's rude. Sneaky like a snake, absolutely, yes. Gender, okay, I know this. He. Okay, there we go, I got it right. Okay. Yeah, we have to be sneaky like a snake. Somebody's really hitting that emoji button, isn't they? Michael, have you ever experienced blowback or consequences from your magic, as in threefold law? I personally believe one will experience such consequences if you feel guilt over what you're doing. I'm going to say no. I'm threefold law. Obviously, I'm not Wiccan, so that doesn't really. I don't really assign to that, ascribe to that. But have I had any blowback? I did have one. Yeah. Well, maybe more than one. Actually, yeah, two at least. I can't really talk about them, go into detail. That what I did had some very severe reactions that I wasn't counting on. But when I looked at it afterwards, I understood why. I didn't aim at the target properly, let's put it that way. And it's just, you know, sometimes you do magic and you do things and the result is totally different to what you thought it would be, because it's just something you would have even considered. And sometimes that happens, but I wouldn't really call it blowback. But yeah, in terms of like the threefold law, where you do something, it comes back on you. Not really, because I don't do anything which is, you know, breaking or forgotten words. If I were to curse somebody, it would be because they deserved it. You know, they've either done something to me or somebody I love, or they are causing a loved one some pain or harm in whatever way they are doing it, and therefore, you know, what I do brings back some balance. I won't go out and just curse somebody willy-nilly because I don't like them. That would be silly. So no, can't say I have. Something has control of my fingers. Are you the one pressing the button? Thank you. Right, we've gone quiet again. Let's see. Everybody's still here. What else is going on my side? Let's see. So I told you about workshops. As you probably know, the first masterclass, the Crooked Path masterclass, is open for bookings. That's starting in September. Foundational work with a load of inclusions of how to work with spirits and introducing you to ancestors, and then the elemental kings, taking you on path workings or journeys with the kings, how to get into trance, working on the energy body, meeting your fetch beast, your lower self, all lots and lots and lots of stuff to get you going, give you a good solid foundation so that when you do start doing magic, start doing or working with other spirits, then you know you're not going to find yourself in a lot of trouble. So there's that, which I'm looking forward to. I hope a lot of people join that, but I don't know. Oh, the Fat Muppet's here. Hello. I don't understand this fear of cursing because if karma is real and somebody deserves it, then isn't that their karma? Exactly. Exactly. You know, if the person does something bad has got to happen to them. If you are the thing that is the bad thing that comes along to do that thing, then yeah. Karma is a weird concept. It is a bit difficult to wrap your head around, and it's an Eastern concept anyway. I don't know why, you know, loads and loads of people kind of pull it into Western magic, and it's not part of Western magic at all. You know, we are karmas of others. There's lots of different types of karma as well. Yeah. Right, so that's masterclasses. Still doing the books, the book club on Patreon. It's a bit quiet though. I'm actually not sure who's reading the book, but I'm fine with that because I just do a review of the book itself on YouTube, so I don't have to do double time. But yeah, we're reading Backwards Witchcraft at the moment. Next month we're reading 6 Ways by Aidan Watchter. It's gonna be good. Michael, what is your biggest regret or what you would like to do over as you've evolved in your magical practice? In my magical practice, I don't actually have any regrets or anything I'd want to do over. I suppose we could say when I was doing the Abramelin, I do wish I had a community to fall back on, because I needed it, and everybody needs a community when they do something like Abramelin. It's a complete revamp of your entire being. So, you know, not to have a community that can fall back on and say, I'm going through this dark night of the soul crap, please help me, guide me through it. Community can't really do much, but at least they're there. People who have gone through it can actually support you and say, don't worry, carry on, just keep going, you'll get there eventually. But you know, when you don't have a community to help you, it takes a long time to get through it because you don't know what's going on, you don't know what's happening. So maybe that's probably about it. But at the same time, it happened the way it was supposed to happen, so can't really say it's a regret. The Fat Muffin said, especially if you yourself are the victim. Oh yeah, I mean, if you're the person who did the bad thing, that's your own fault. Furthermore, the law of cause and effect is probably a hermetic law, so it must have some connection to karma. Yeah, same principle, same idea. It's the same as the Wiccan threefold law. Um, it's about, on a base level, it's about keeping balance, and I think um, everybody has that kind of moral principle within their practice, within their life, at some place, some area. Fat Muppet, is it possible to invoke Aleister Crowley? Yes. Yeah, definitely. Just the same as you can. Okay, hang on. Let's first define how you use invoke. If you are wanting to pull him into yourself and become possessed by the spirit of Aleister Crowley, that's a bit of a different story than sitting down and having a conversation with him. Yeah. But yeah, I consider Aleister Crowley to be one of the mighty dead, so you can definitely sit down and have a chat. But if he has taken on a new body, then why would it be possible to invoke him? Because we don't live in linear time. We don't exist in linear time. We do operate in linear time because human beings, the way we are, we have to do that in order to function properly. But this is not, this three-dimensional world is not the be-all and end-all of the cosmos. So time's not real. Space is everywhere. We are all things, and all things are us. All in the same instant. Bobby Mordecai, Aleister familiar Crowley. No, I don't think Aleister Crowley can be your familiar. That's not going to work. Cool album. Reincarnation doesn't assume that we are born into a new body, but that we cause the arising of a new being. There is a relationship between us, not identity. Yeah, one way of looking at it. And also, I mean, the most popular idea is that we go from life to life as a pure soul. That's not everybody's belief. There's all different ways of looking at how death and rebirth actually happen. Fat Muppet, then doesn't that mean we can invoke ancient alien kings from distant galaxies? Well, in that case, you have to be very careful that you're not going into psychosis. Because now we're getting into the Galactic Federation stuff. It's just the biggest, most hysterical thing I've ever seen. But yeah, the ancient aliens. That's just, it's. I don't discount that they exist, but all the crap that people are talking about and going on about and have been for a long time is just a whole another level of craziness. So yeah, you got to be very careful with trying to contact spirits like that, because you could just end up picking up a astral parasite that's kind of like, go, yeah, I'll be that one. Let's have some food for the day. So yeah, you gotta be really careful. Alright, gonna do the last questions and then I've got to pop off. Just need to, let's just do this. So nobody books the thing. Okay. Kasim, hello. What is your opinion of Hecate being Bina and also Saturn as well? I'm sure you asked this at the beginning. I have read this theory that I think there is some truth, although I never thought Hecate was Saturn. So you gotta be careful of taking things too literally here. Bina is kind of like the mother. Is also Saturn rules Bina on the Tree of Life itself and is part of the Pillar of Severity, right? So you could assign Hecate to Bina in that instance. I don't really like assigning the deities to the Sephiroth. But is Hecate Saturn? Saturn's a planet. You know, can we say that Hecate embodies the same qualities as the personification or personified form of Saturn? Hecate is a huge, big figure with many, many epithets, many, many roles. So it's quite possible. I mean, she does rule death, and she does rule the thresholds and the underworld. She is the gatekeeper, the keykeeper. So there are many aspects of Saturn that relate to Hecate, yes. Morka, I read that Saturn equals Satan. No. That's just Christian rubbish. Fat Muppet, is the Galactic Federation real? A lot of people believe in them. No. It's just people playing, and well, they don't think they're playing, but there's just they don't. Yeah, no, it's craziness. You know, it's here comes spiritual psychosis. Bodemorka, who knows? Kudo Mutwa said that he eats reptiles. What? Maybe he did eat reptiles, but I'm not sure what that's in reference to. Michael, great session here. Thanks for great insight. It's an absolute pleasure. Thanks for joining. Any questions? James, Saturn, what that was it? I was waiting to say thanks. Your son Saturn showed up as I revisited Canvas painting this week. Correspondences aligned as a synchronous event for me. That's a pleasure. Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah. I love the synchronicities. A lot of people find that the video is going to pop up when they just thinking about it. It's just quite fun. Right. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to go grab something to eat and then I've got to do my workshop. So I'll see everybody next week. Have a good one. And cheers for now. Bye bye.